have a small announcement to make. I received a donation from a subscriber, TD from Senegal. Thank you for your generous donation. If I receive donations through PayPal from now on, I'm going to thank the person in the beginning of the next video. And in this case, I'm not mentioning the full name because I don't know if I have permission to. So if you want your full name to be mentioned, send me an email. I appreciate TD. I can do the same for you if you would like to send me an email like that. Thanks everyone for being here and following the channel. 2 or 3 videos ago, we had a video about the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. And today, I am going to talk about a Whorfian situation or a Whorfian problem, which has to do with language and gender. Just a brief recap. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis was about the way language shapes our thinking. Within the discussion of language relativity, then I also mentioned that there's different interpretations of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. And there's weak interpretations or strong interpretations, you could say hard and soft readings of the hypothesis. Some saying that language influences our thinking but does not shape it, not all the time at least. And there are linguistic determinists who say that language actually determines our thought. We know that there are languages that are genderless, grammatical gender. There are languages with grammatical gender, like Spanish, where words are divided into 2 groups. There are languages like English, which have some sort of natural gender on a very limited scale, like third-person singular pronoun, which only marks gender for real people who have actually natural sex. So you could say English marks natural gender, but it has very limited gender. And there are genderless languages that do not mark gender at all, whether it's grammatical gender or natural gender. One of these languages is Turkish. For example, you have a word for man or a woman, but the word is not marked for gender. Also, you don't divide words based on gender. You don't say this is a class of words and this group is masculine and this one is feminine. For example, in the case of third-person singular pronoun, in English you have natural gender, but in Turkish you do not. You have the word o, which refers to he or she or even it. So English makes a distinction between natural sex in third-person singular, but it also makes a distinction between animate and inanimate. You can use it. The point is that Turkish doesn't have any of that. What is the Whorfian situation? Let's call it the Sapir-Whorfian problem. It's the story of a family that immigrates to an English-speaking country. So you have a family that is Turkish-speaking and they immigrate to Canada. There is this relationship, the dynamic between the father and the daughter. Before they immigrate to Canada, they receive a gift, which is a bunny. It's a plushy bunny. The daughter has the bunny for a couple of years, the toy bunny. They talk about the bunny, the daughter and the father, and they refer to the bunny as O, because that's how you do things in Turkish. It's genderless, right? So this situation goes on and they build some memories. So they immigrate to Canada and now the girl has grown up a bit. She's like 8 or 9 or 10. And then they go to school. The father goes to work. He finds a job and they immerse in their new environment. Obviously, they start experiencing the world in a different way, in a different language, you could say, because they're Turkish speakers, but they talk to people in English almost all the time. Then when they come back home and they talk about their daily experience, they gradually start to switch into English. They code mix and code switch in English, so they start using more English between themselves, the father and the daughter. So one day, Dad goes to the daughter's room to kiss her goodnight, and then daughter has the bunny again in her bed. And Dad says to daughter, referring to the bunny, the toy bunny, that he's really a good friend to you, isn't he? At which point, the daughter tells dad that the bunny is a girl, to which dad jokingly objects, saying he always thought of Bunny as a boy. So that's why he said he. But the girl says no, it's a she. And it has always been a she. The bunny has always been a she. So for whatever reason, the dad always thought that the bunny, the toy bunny, is a boy. But now there is this dynamic that the daughter always thought it's a girl. For the next few weeks and months, dad and daughter playfully argue about whether the toy bunny is a boy or a girl. So obviously they agree that the bunny is a girl. But then the question remains, why did this situation happen in the first place? So it was kind of playful and funny. The dad somehow thought of the toy bunny as he, but he never had to express it. Maybe he never even thought of any gender when he was thinking about the bunny, because all he had to use was the pronoun O. So you could say that he never thought of the bunny as boy or girl, and probably the daughter didn't either. But maybe once they started speaking English, they had to choose a pronoun. And that's when maybe they reviewed their memories and they decided that it's a he or she based on what they had experienced indirectly. The Whorfian situation here is, how did they choose the pronoun he or she? What went in their mind? And why was it that they had to do that only when they started using English? So I think this story kind of gives, you could say, a textbook example of how you could discuss the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, because this is a real life situation in which people experience the same thing in two different languages. And then there is some sort of obviously friendly tension in the use of pronouns, but only because of the structure predefined by language or determined by language. So I can already imagine that this is a good case for a language determinist, because they would say, you are experiencing this only because English is determining your thought structure. And Turkish doesn't force you into any of those categories. So basically you don't have to make a choice in Turkish, but you have to do that in English. And this is exactly what the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is about. Anyways, I just thought this is too good not to share with you guys. And I also thought that a lot of you may have interesting ideas and thoughts that I didn't come to my mind. And I would be happy to read them in the comment section. Yeah, so that's it. Our Sapir-Whorfian problem or